I'm going to hit him, he's going to grab, snap. You're going to do the same thing when we get to that. Now I'm going to show you that this is the one you want to get, snap it, and you're done. That's the one. Any finger's good, the ring finger's the best. We'll get over that. So,
Ring finger's the best?
all right, we'll go with, since he asked. Everybody go like this. Grab your hand, pull your thumb. Not till you snap it, but till you feel pretty uncomfortable. It's like, that's not good. Close the rest of your hand. No, go like this, pull it back, close the rest of your hand. Easy, right? Pull your pinky back till you feel a little pain. Close, just feel a little different. Now get the ring finger, get it back there, now close. You feel the pain? The ring finger triggers more, I don't know if it's because they're tighter, longer, it triggers more of these ligaments. So it's just like a rubber band. Whether I sprain it, strain it, snap it, or I just tear your finger off and feed it to you. Once I break this finger, you can't make a fist. So if you're a boxer, you can't hit me. If you're a knife fighter, yeah, I can hold, let's say this was a knife, but since I can't grip it, I'm going to go like this, and nothing's going to happen. But that's the finger you want to break. That's the finger that's going to, when you cause damage to it, it's going to cause the most effect as far as mobility to that hand, the strength for that hand, use of that hand. So the second you can grab, so you can feel, because you know what a pinky is, you know what a thumb is. Without looking, you'll feel, all right, we have no more fingers. So that's pinky, that's ring, middle, index, that's the chubby one, that's the thumb for sure. Again, you don't have to look, you know these things. So you get your finger in there, even if it was a grab. He grabs my shirt, and I'm going to stuff some fingers in there. So, and I got the oh, there it is. Oh, I'm going to bring it back to grab with the other hand, and I'm going to snap it in a circular motion. So I'm here, boom, and I feed it to him. Not just backwards, not the head, not the knee. But that's where you would go. Poke him in the eye. Anytime someone does this to you, you control the wrist, snap the ring finger off. Control the wrist, snap the ring finger off. Especially, let's say you have a knife on you. You go to court, yes sir, I do practice martial arts, because they're going to find out. Don't try to hide it. People have done it, that's how people are out there with workman's comp. Trucks, basically, filming stuff, catching you in a tree, doing all kinds of stuff. You're supposed to have your neck brace on, you only went to the doctor, they're going to catch you. Don't lie, yes I do martial arts. I had the right, this guy's trying to take my life, I had the right to kill him. But I chose to debilitate. And you do the same thing. You do something like that to a Jew, they go, ooh. And you'll see them for the next 10 minutes, they're sitting there, instead of even listening to what they're going, like little monkeys. Because it's stuff that's like, wow, I could have just ripped this guy's face off, but instead I broke this finger, not only a finger, this specific finger, because it's going to cause this specific damage, which is for the guy not to be able to attack me. You seem like someone who's a prudent civilian as opposed to a crazy psychopath, which your instructor is, but you don't tell him about me. I'm talking about you guys now. This is what I learned, this is what I do. I had the right to kill him, I just wanted to defend myself. I don't know if this guy was having a bad day, just caught his husband with his wife with his sister. Just think about anything on Jerry Springer, pop it in there. Yeah, just think about anything that happened on Jerry. Boop, boop. Pop it in there. I don't know if this is the kind of day this guy's having, so I didn't take his life even though I had the right to, because he was trying to take mine. Boom. See what I'm saying? But again, these are things that you're not thinking now. Oh, Rodriguez said if this happens, I got to go A, C. And if this happens, I go 2F. And if this happens, I go 8L. You can't think that way. It's whatever comes available, and that's why those letters are there for you to remember. Eyes, ears, with anything. You got to think. What against an eyeball wins? Pretty much anything. A finger against an eyeball wins. A bear paw versus an eyeball wins. A thumb versus anything versus an eyeball wins. An elbow versus what wins? Think about this. Where would I let someone hit me full force with their elbow? You're pretty much maybe like if you're hit anywhere, you're just like, oh yeah, take that, big boy. Forget it. Right? But where? I wouldn't let you elbow me in the nose, the spine, the throat, the groin, anywhere around the femoral, the common peroneal, anywhere. Basically, the elbow wins. The knee, the same thing. Where would you let me knee you full force? And that's what you think of. So those are my weapons. Where would I use them? All right, would I use an elbow to the top of the head? No. Elbow to the spine. Yeah, that makes sense. Knee to the top of the head. Well, the guy's already on the ground. You start thinking about where these things fit in. And then keep them going and think 3 steps ahead. So, like you asked, that question you asked, little by little you're going to start filtering it into 3 things, then 4 things, and then you have so many that, okay, I can't do all 8, which 3 would I do? And then it's not a bad thing if you have to hit someone 8 times. Let's say this guy's really resilient, at least you have enough to keep them at bay until that final, because that's all you're looking to do. These are all, everything is a distraction. Even though they say, well, if someone grabs your wrist, that's a distraction so I can get into this. Well, no, that's a distraction. Everything is a distraction until this. This is a technique. This is a technique. They're all techniques. This, snapping the finger, they're all techniques. That's a technique. But everything is basically a distraction, whether it's a technique, what it is. Anything that I do is a distraction. This could be a technique or a distraction so I can get to this, so I can snap, so I can take this. All you're trying to do is keep the guy off and keep him thinking. And then just, that's why I bring up the keyboard. That's how you're trying to do it. So that he can't, every time the brain goes, what was, before it gets to that, so it's what was, well, we know it was a poke to the eye, the brain has to assess what it was. That's just the way it is. It's called self-preservation. Whether it's a kick to the groin, slap to the face, way quicker. Oh, what was that? What was a slap to the face? But when someone spits up your nose and it's that weird, that your brain's got, whether it's that or a kick, your brain has to assess what the problem is. So you keep it at what was, before we can hit that, so it was what was, and then it's just like a pinball machine, it tilts. Or every time you open up a new box on your computer, and you get that little, because you just won't go to Best Buy and buy that new computer, you got nice rims and a nice stereo in your car, but you won't buy that new computer for the kids. They're sitting there failing out of school, because you wanted 20s. Well, there you go, we're having dubs, buddy. You got dumb kids now. Dumb and Puerto Rican. What you gonna do with those two now, huh? There ain't enough novellas to go around. I'm just saying. Choices people make. Hey, not me. My kids got computers. Yes?
So usually, it seems like there's a lot of scenarios where one has a person, and somebody goes by and grabs it and runs off with it. Does that not constitute, because they're not attacking you, that does not constitute?
You can, and here's the thing, every state is different. You can't in Florida anyway, they used to have that stand your ground where they had to attack you. Now it stands no more. Here's basically the way it works. You can defend yourself if you feel threatened. Here's the thing. He says, I'm going to kill you, right? Nobody was there to hear it, but I say, hey, he said he was going to kill me. So they're going to take my word for it. Okay, let's just say John did say that. Does he have the ability to follow through with that threat? Well, look at him. Yeah, he could kill me if he wanted to, more than one way. And if he or I or any one of us went to any of you, it would be the same way. Yeah, he said he was going to kill me. Does he look like he can come through, he follow through with that threat? Absolutely. You have the right to defend yourself. Without him doing it, he can be sitting there like that, or he can be sitting there like the Captain Morgan, it doesn't matter. You can kill him because he said he was going to kill you. There was nobody there that heard it to say different. So, but you cannot do the same protecting property. He can sit there and say, I'm going to take your wallet, I have no intent on hurting you whatsoever, I just want your wallet, and you maim him or hurt him, he can sue you or you can go to jail for it. Because you don't have, that's in Florida. You cannot use force to protect property, which is, I'm going to jail for sure. I'm going to protect my VCR. I haven't even used that thing since The Lion King came out. Last thing I watched on that thing was The Lion King, and it was fresh. I mean, it was just like, ooh, that's hot, just out of the oven. That's the last time I used it, and I'm still going to kill you if you try to take it. It's mine. I paid for it. I worked a lot of days in that bodega to get that doggone thing, and I'm going to keep it. End of story. Sorry about your life. But you have to know what the laws are in your
GMR. So for Washington, I work a lot with, as a fireman for Seattle, I work a lot with Seattle police. For the state of Washington, it varies drastically into what the prosecutor is going to do for you. So if somebody's a purse snatcher and you pull something out and you pop them in the back while they took your purse, you're probably not a good thing. If they're inside of your house, that's completely different. If they're grabbing you, then it's going to be like JMR said, in the state of Washington, usually it's going to be dependent on how they were grabbing you and what you did and what you stopped. Property is really, really different. There's different levels in the state. What constitutes a felony versus a misdemeanor versus what constitutes armed, what doesn't constitute armed, all of those myriad of things in this state. So in reality, what state law says versus where it happens is probably a little bit more relevant. What happens in Seattle versus what happens in Ellensburg, going to be two different types of prosecution, to be frank. So
But nobody has time to psychoanalyze that.
Exactly, but here's the thing. So you're not going to do it on your end. You're not doing it on your end because of what he said, and let's say there were 17 different rules. You're going to have to learn these rules, regulations, laws, whatever they are. I mean, like I said, I'm a different bird. I give you guys a toolbox. I've never used this toolbox that you me mortals use. I don't. My name should have been Buck, because I just don't give up. I'm going to do what I feel I'm in the mood to do. I haven't had a good life because of it. I've done some pretty dumb things, but I've stayed alive. And that to me is more important than anything else. Because a day above ground is way better than the alternative. So your thing is, you want to be able to explain. You don't have to, remember, the people sitting behind that stupid little fence, what do they call that, the bullpen or the juror's box?
The jury box.
That crap over there, right? These are laymen's, or lamos, whichever one you want. Those are the people you're worried about. So you're not worried about how many years of greatness this judge has, how badass the prosecutor is, how crummy you have to convince these people, right? So your job is, they understand layman's terms. So when you start, and you never speak, I've done it, I've had to been an expert witness, and you're going to pay me for one or the other. You got yourself in trouble instead of learning it, you should have paid me to learn the stuff, now you got yourself in a pickle. For me to bail you out, it's going to cost you twice as much. And explain to the jury what he had the right to do, and he chose to do these things because these biomechanical cuts stop this from happening, breaking this finger, all the research versus these, because all these other scientists and supposed, they just sound retarded. Why? Because they don't understand it. So rather than them look stupid, they're like, that guy sounds like an idiot. Instead of them saying, wow, that's a scientist, we're idiots. You're going to speak to them, they're going to understand, well, wow, this guy broke that finger, and all this other stuff is going to go away. Because to them, it's just too out there versus what you're telling them that you poked him in the eye and snapped that finger, but you just can't say, I snapped that finger. You make sure you say why you snapped that finger. And you let them know, because those are the people you're talking to. And it's an easy peasy. But you have to understand that there's so many rules, you have to be able to say, I could have gone here, but I went here. This technique causes this damage, I have the right to use it. I use this one that causes less damage. So it takes a little bit of time. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, because not enough people maybe get attacked. So you don't want to take martial arts classes or do the self-defense courses or whatever, or not learn your laws, and then when it comes down to it and you lose half of everything you have. I have a buddy who got jumped by 3 guys in Waukesha, or was he in Manitowoc? Wisconsin, doesn't matter. Manitowoc, Waukesha, hell, same thing. 3-on-1. He worked all 3 of them. He was top 10 NASCAR rated. NASCAR is the North American Sport Karate Association. So he was in the top 10 of that, certified with me in Hapkido and CQDT, lit these guys up pretty well. To not go to jail, he still had to plead down, still ended up with a charge. To not go to jail, he had to agree to plea, pay half of all 3 of their doctor's bills and half of their lawyers. 3-on-1. Most people would think, 3-on-1, this is easy. No, it was excessive. You should have known better. You should have ran.
Right.
He's in a parking lot. Where else do you run to? Where am I going? I wasn't in the club. I wasn't in front of somewhere. I'm in the parking lot. Obviously, I ran. Just didn't start in the parking lot. We just didn't. We were in the parking lot. And I'm pretty sure he probably didn't run as fast as he could have. He probably didn't. I know Bill. He probably laid into the first one pretty good, and he was like, "Okay, I'm running. Oh, maybe not. Oh, wait, back it up." But all 3 of them, he caused damage to all 3 of them. And to stay out of jail, he had to pay half of all this stuff, medical and lawyer. So again, but those are your choices. What if he just says, well, I'm not going to do anything, lets these guys beat the hell out of him?
You die, you get hurt.
Yeah.
So, but you got to put that in, and it's so easy, so you start putting those things and you just use the keyboard. Once I show you this, you don't need to have the keyboard in front of you, because you already know, here's the edge, you're going to go, okay, there it is. You looked at it the first 5 times. To actually type, you need the keyboard, but to learn where it is that you're going to go from there, how you're going to make words, where the DE, where the D is, the Q, the W. QWERTY, that's such a funny word. QWERTY, say QWERTY. Anyway, now you know, right? So now you're going to know, you're going to go for the eyes, the ears, and then what makes sense? Am I going to go from the ears to the eyes? Yeah, from the eyes to the ears. No, because oh yeah, boom, oh yeah, I can do that. I poke him in the eyes, hit you, or I grab him in the head and then the groin. Perfect. So now you start saying to yourself, all right, I poked him in the eyes, I put both hands out, like get away from me, boom. Right? Oh, bam, my bear port, oh, boom, I got him here, oh, boom, now I need him here. Oh, now I can take off. Because you're going to see where the spots are. And then little by little, that time, that reaction time goes like this. But instead of saying, if someone grabs your wrist, because then you start thinking, you're technique-driven versus concept-driven. World of difference. And then yours, and when you go back, it makes it harder for you to ask her for help. With forms, do you guys all know what forms are? If you're in Taekwondo, you know what a form. Everybody knows you're going to start here, and the first move in probably 90% of forms is this. Right? So you're like, okay, so what was it? Well, I'm going to step. Oh, okay, right. So what was the 18th move when you sit there counting off? Oh, this. And you can help each other over the phone or whatever it is. With this, it's a little different. I think maybe that's why they do forms the way they do. I don't know. I don't have anything against any art. But if it doesn't help me beat people up, the less it does that, the less I like it. I like to get straight to the point and just beat people up. Some people deserve it. They really, really do. If you touch a woman, I don't care. I don't care how bad your day was. You put your hands on a woman, they should beat you for the rest of your life. Oh, well, he made a mistake. Great. He won't make that mistake again because he gets his face beat. He's only 19. Well, he better hope he dies soon. Because if he lives till 80, he gets his ass beat every day till the age of. Every day. You have no business. Listen here. Men don't have to go through having their period. They don't have to go through being pregnant. They don't have to go through childbirth. They don't have to go through menopause. What do? We get old, we're my beautiful Corvette, we leave our wife, and we get a couple of floozies that we blow all our money on. We got that beautiful 401k, that pension from Coca-Cola, all to that big dummy. And we leave her. No, man, that's not the way it's going to work. You're going to stay with that woman. I've been with the same woman 30 years. I got 3 kids with that wonderful woman, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to live longer than she does. So at least for a little bit, I can say, hey, I stuck around 3 days. I got 3 days.